This is the story of the ice cream bus. The story starts with a son asking his father for some ice cream. The father, Sanahara, says no because it's already dinner time. Sanahara notices that other children are getting on the ice cream bus. He asks the parents where the children are going. The parents say that this kind ice cream man started coming to this housing complex every Saturday a month ago. The children like to spend some of their Saturdays with him. The ice cream man tells Sanahara that he takes the children on a tour of the city. Just a little fun for the kids. Later on, we see the son, Tomoki, still wanting some ice cream. But Sanahara just tells him to eat his dinner before it gets cold. Tomoki says that his father's meals taste like hot trash. He throws a tantrum and says that he would rather be with his mother. It's Saturday again. So the ice cream bus is back. Sanahara gives in and buys Tomoki some ice cream because he doesn't want to lose Tomoki to his mother. He then buys Tomoki one chocolate ice cream. The other children appear to be in line for the bus ride. Sanahara encourages Tomoki to join them. Sanahara looks at the ice cream man, who doesn't seem friendly to him at all. Later that day, Tomoki returns home. He appears to be impressed by the bus drive. He tells his father that there was a big pile of strawberry ice cream on the bus and everyone licked it. They even had a licking race, so his tongue is all red now. Sanahara is worried that Tomoki will upset his stomach by eating like that. Later, Sanahara returns home from work. He notices a lot of shoes on the ground. It looks like Tomoki made some friends on the bus ride. Later, the father and son chill on the couch and watch some TV. Tomoki hasn't said anything about wanting to go be with his mother lately. The reason is that the ice cream bus doesn't go anywhere near where his mother's house is. Tomoki seems to be obsessed with the ice cream bus, which confuses Sanahara. Saturday again. Another bus ride. Tomoki says goodbye to his father. Sanahara asks the ice cream man if he can join the bus ride this time. But the ice cream man says that adults are not allowed to board the ice cream bus. Just as Sanahara is leaving, he gets a glimpse of what's really going on inside the ice cream bus. In a zombie-like state, the children are licking on huge piles of ice cream. The door closes before he can intervene, and the ice cream bus takes off. Sometime later, Sanahara walks around the house and steps into what appears to be ice cream. The complex has ice cream all over it. He comes home from work and sees that Tomoki's friends are over again. However, to his surprise, none of the friends are there. But instead, it's just Tomoki and a big pile of ice cream. The friends of Tomoki have turned into ice cream and Tomoki is eating them without any concerns whatsoever. Tomoki keeps eating his friends that have melted. Sanahara accidentally beheads his son in an attempt to stop him, not realizing that Tomoki has also turned into ice cream. Finally, it is revealed that the ice cream bus is actually alive. This is the story of a mysterious tunnel. A boy and his mother are seen walking on a train track while holding hands. The boy stops to catch some snowflakes, but the mother keeps walking forward. The boy appears distressed as he watches his mother walk towards a tunnel. Snap back to reality. It's the same boy, but he's older now. His name is Goro. He is hanging out with a group of friends. They talk about going into a tunnel, the same tunnel where Goro's mother disappeared. The boys agree to meet at the entrance of the tunnel. They enter the tunnel with flashlights in hand. One of the boys asks the leader of the group how far he wants to go in the tunnel. The leader wants to go to the middle of the tunnel to find something weird. The other boy appears scared and begins to panic, but the leader tells him to man up. They examine the ceiling with their flashlights and discover scratches. Something suddenly falls onto the leader's head and he panics. He thinks it's blood, but the other boy calms him down and says it's just water. Goro sees someone in the distance while they are arguing about the incident. Except for Goro, all the boys run away. It turns out to be his sister, Mari. She appears to be very distressed and has no idea how she got there. The two siblings are heading home. At home, Mari is in bed with a fever. Goro is talking to his father about what happened. His father believes that the tunnel has a way of luring people in. Goro asks if he has told Mari about their mother, but the father has not told her. The father talks about Mari and how worried he is about her. Goro is having a nightmare about the day his mother went missing. On the next day, Goro returns home from school. His father wonders if he knows where Mari is, as she seems to be missing. Goro is clueless, so the father rushes outside to look for her. Goro remains home. It's already dark outside, but his father hasn't returned yet. Goro is worried that something might have happened to his father and sister, so he goes to the tunnel to look for them. He finds the footprints of a man and a child. Inside the tunnel, Goro picks up the flashlight of his father. He cries out for his father, but to no avail. Some blood suddenly drops on his cheek, but he mistakenly thinks it's water. He keeps walking and comes across a mysterious door. On the door is a label that says Cosmic Ray Observatory. The door opens and Goro sees a number of machines and wires. He notices his sister Mari with 3 adults wearing lab coats. Goro explains that this is his sister and that he is looking for his father, but the scientists haven't seen him. One of the scientists says that this base is in the middle of the tunnel, so they would have seen someone go by. But Koyama, the female scientist, agrees to help Goro search the tunnel by car. Before they leave, Koyama tells Goro that he has blood on his cheek. The two of them drive through the tunnel, but they don't find Goro's father. The tunnel is empty, and there are no footprints outside, only tire tracks from the car of the scientists. Goro asks Koyama what exactly a cosmic ray observatory is. Koyama explains that cosmic rays rain down from space, and it's their job to investigate that type of radiation. She also says that radiation can pass through human bodies like an X-ray, and they can pierce the mountains and come flying into the tunnel. Old tunnels like this are often used to observe similar types of phenomena. Back home, Goro is eagerly waiting for a call from his father. The phone is ringing, but the caller is Koyama, the female scientist. Mari walked into the tunnel again. Koyama would prefer for the siblings to stay with their aunt in Tokyo until their father is found. One of the scientists is tilted because he has lost 3 League of Legends games in a row. Just kidding, he is mad because of the useless research data. He says that he has felt tired since he came down to the tunnel. Koyama says she feels the same way. The third scientist, Ishikura, comes in with news that is very important. He shows them the photo they took the other day that has been developed. In the photo are the 3 scientists and what appears to be a bunch of human-like things flying through the tunnel. Ishikura says that they're passing through them easily, as X-rays do. Could they be spirits? They talk about what these things could be. The scientists think that these things are why they have the symptoms of radiation poisoning. They have to close the Cosmic Ray Observatory until further notice. Back home, Goro receives another call from Koyama. Goro should come to the Cosmic Ray Observatory immediately. Koyama can be heard screaming. Goro arrives at the place and finds Koyama and his sister Mari there. Also, he sees the other 2 scientists get eaten by the tunnel. The scientists can see ghosts flying around. While the professor is talking about spirits, he is sucked through the ground. He takes his last breath before being completely consumed by the tunnel. Goro looks at the man in shock. Koyama says this place is drawing people in. That's the reason they came back here. Mari is now being sucked into the surface. Goro is trying to save his sister, but Mari is already a ghost. Goro can only watch as his sister vanishes, her blood on his hands. Goro and Koyama try to reach the entrance of the tunnel. Koyama falls to the ground, and Goro comes to her aid. They see the ghosts of Mari and the scientists coming at them. The ghosts beg for help as one of them falls directly on Koyama. She gets eaten by the tunnel right away. Goro tries to make it out alive, but the many ghosts that pass through his body take away all his strength. With no more energy left, he succumbs to the tunnel and faces the same fate as the scientists and his family. There are a lot of people gathered around a fire. They are burning a person while having a guilty look on their faces. This is the story of the Hikazuri siblings. The siblings are the big brother Kazuya, the big sister Kinako, middle brother Shigoro, middle sister Narumi, little brother Hitoshi and the little sister Misako. The big brother Kazuya acts as if he is going to work to be a role model to his siblings, but in reality he is just chilling in the sun. His family is wealthy so he doesn't need to work. As he is lying there he notices a cute lady and approaches her. He asks what she's doing and the woman called Sashio tells him that she is doing spirit photography. Kazuya mentions that his house is also supernatural and invites Sashio to his place. She accepts and Kazuya shows her around the back of the house. They have their own graveyard of their Hikazuri relatives. The middle brother Shigoro interrupts the two of them and wants to play the guide for Sashio, angering his big brother. Later at the dinner table Kazuya shouts at Shigoro to eat more gracefully and the little sister Misako suddenly starts to cry. She apparently misses her mother and they argue who should calm Misako to stop her from crying. They all make Hitoshi calm her down but he does a really bad job and gets scratched across the face and starts to cry as well. At the same time Kinako asks Shigoro if he thinks that she is ugly because he said that Narumi looks the most like their mother. Kazuya and Kinako team up and they both start scolding Shigoro. He runs away crying loudly. Later at night Kazuya tells Kinako that he wants to summon their dead parents because he wants Misako to see them. He believes that he has got spiritual powers in him. Meanwhile Sashio is at her home and looks at the photographs that she shot at the Hikazuri family's place. Sashio notices the spirits behind the middle brother's back and suddenly the doorbell rings. It's the big sister, Sashio asks Kinako how she knew where she lived and she mentions that Kazuya followed her home earlier. Kinako asks if Sashio wants to watch the summoning of their parents as Sashio is interested in anything spiritual. Later Sashio arrives at the Haikazuri place with her boyfriend to watch the summoning. Kazuya doesn't seem too happy about the boyfriend being there but proceeds with the ritual. At the ritual Kazuya asks for everyone to be quiet from now on and that he will act as the medium. As he finishes speaking, Misako starts screaming and jumps all over the place. Kazuya mentions that his focus is being disturbed by her and everybody tells Hitoshi to make her go quiet. As he tells her to be quiet, Misako jumps on him and bites his head. Later Hitoshi cries at his parents' gravestone as the others proceed with the summoning. All of a sudden Shigoro starts screaming as if possessed and throws up something white. He turns around and the ghost of the father of the Haikazuri siblings introduces himself. The father starts screaming at Kazuya and calls him lazy because Kazuya just acts like if he is working. The father makes Shigoro the head of the family from now on and Kazuya runs away from home crying. Misako starts screaming and cries that her father is gone already but Shigoro mentions that the white ectoplasm might grow into her parents later. Happily Misako grabs the ectoplasm and runs off with it. Later on their way home Sashio and her boyfriend talk about the events and her boyfriend mentions that he sneakily took some of the ectoplasm with him as he wants to analyze it in his lab. At night Kazuya destroys his parents' gravestone and the little brother Hitoshi witnesses all of it. The next day Shigoro sits at the head of the table and gives everybody orders as he feels proud to be the head of the family. Everybody does what Shigoro tells them to do except Hitoshi who refuses to massage his feet. Shigoro gets up and beats Hitoshi to a pulp. Later as the family sits at the table Shigoro mentions that he wants to do another summoning tonight. He tells Kazuya to call Sashio but to not bring her boyfriend along. Meanwhile at Sashio's place her boyfriend mentions that he figured out what the ectoplasm is. Apparently it's just wheat flour, which leads them to think that the summoning was just a prank. Just at that moment Kazuya knocks on the door and mentions the second summoning tonight but Sashio wants to hear none of it as she doesn't want to be pranked again. Kazuya realizes that he got pranked as well and beats Shigoro as he tries to act like their father again. Kazuya wants to beat up Shigoro and tells Hitoshi to get out of his way. Just at that moment ectoplasm comes out of Hitoshi's mouth and fills the room. It forms their father's face and everybody starts to run away as it follows them through the house. As they all end up at the gravesite the ectoplasm flies into the parents' grave and disappears. They got pranked by a dead man. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.